Welcome to another episode of Africa Joe Convo, a podcast about geospatial innovations and people doing great things with geospatial technology in Africa. My name is Wanola, and today I'm joined by my co-host Emmanuel. And today we are just going to be talking about 2021 so far, talking about the episodes we've had, and just you know, just talking about what we've been able to achieve in 2021. Hi, Emmanuel. How are you doing this morning?
Hi everyone, I'm Owanola. I'm doing great.
Yeah, yeah. So I think like before we go into what we've achieved in 2021, I think it would be good to just go over the reason why we decided to start the podcast. And so, like, if you are just joining us for the first time, if this is your first time on the podcast, so the reason why we decided to start the podcast is just to create content around geospatial technology and GIS in Africa. Like from some of the challenges we faced while we were in school. So we thought that would be actually like a great platform to help people who are out there in Africa who are just starting in GIS, or who are a student or an entry level professional, to just get around understanding what they need to do and hearing from people who are already doing GIS in Africa, just so they can learn from them.
Yeah, that's right. The GIS industry in Africa is growing, so it's very important we have content.
Yeah, and I think we've done a great job so far. Like just seeing all the episodes and the guests that we've actually brought to the on the platform like throughout the year. And I think this is a point where we just say thank you to everybody that's been
Yeah,
supporting and listening to the podcast. Thank you to all our guests, and thank you to everyone that's shared a feedback or so, like for us to be able to improve on the podcast. Like we're so grateful about that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So.
Some have been reaching out via
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, and it's really
Yeah.
appreciated. Some via
Mm-hmm.
email, some via LinkedIn
Yeah.
as well. So we really appreciate these
Yeah.
feedbacks.
I mean, like,
Um,
they mean a
they
lot
they
to
are
us.
helping
Yeah.
us to
Yeah.
grow.
And improve on
Yeah.
our quality, our content, and our processes. So for the people that are like listening for the first time, maybe like for some people that are just maybe they've not been following us so far. So maybe we can go over like our episode for the year, just to brush up on what we've been able to, the topics we've been able to, talk about like over the year 2021. Yes.
Sure. Okay, so the first episode was actually the beginning. So, but that was not in 2021. So, we're not going to talk about that. But you can definitely listen to it. It's just us, sharing the reason why we started, our
Yeah.
why.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's basically what we
Mm-hmm.
did in the episode. It was kind of,
Yeah.
the quality was very bad,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
we've grown.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
grateful, so we can definitely listen to it. Episode one, then episode two, mapping our world, saving lives, and because we one of the entry points to GIS, like the easy route for you to learn some GIS skills, like basic skills and even advanced skills, and even for you to grow personally, not just in hard skills but in soft skills, is through volunteering and contributing to
Yeah.
open source,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's giving back to the community. So it's a very, very great entry point. So in episode two, we had an interview with Geoffrey. Geoffrey works at OT.
Mm-hmm.
He's the community manager for East Africa Hub. So we discussed around volunteering, mapping, encouraging local participation,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
we shared some tips and tricks on how to
Mm-hmm.
get started with volunteering on OSM, right?
Yeah.
Then Geoffrey also shared some
Mm-hmm.
resources, tutorials to get started, how to access the OSM data, what you can do with it, how to download OSM data, even
Yeah.
in QGIS, the open source GIS software. We talked
Mm-hmm.
about the Youth Mapper chapter, and also the Odds Audacious project as well. So it's
Yeah.
it's really an interesting
Yeah.
episode. We shared a lot about
Mm-hmm.
volunteering, about mapping our
Yeah.
world, and saving lives. So you should definitely
Yeah.
listen to the episode if
Mm-hmm.
volunteering is new to you or you want to learn more about
Yeah.
audacious projects and the OpenStreetMap ecosystem in general.
Yeah, okay. So for the third episode, we had Kibui. Wanjoy is a seasoned GIS consultant and a developer, and he's based in Kenya. And he also is also like a blogger at Live in GIS and a YouTuber, and he likes to share knowledge. So he has like the best Jojango series on YouTube,
Yeah,
and we brought him on the episode to talk about WebGIS development. Where to get started, because programming, like going into that aspect of GIS, is something that is actually becoming mainstream.
yeah,
Like if you see most of the job requirements out there, they
yeah,
want somebody that has programming knowledge that can like build web
yeah,
maps and all those stuff. So we wanted to we felt like that would be a great way um to like help people who are maybe who like might want to get started in the WebJS world. So Wanjoy was on the podcast and he shared a lot of insight into understand what you need to understand, learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and also like understanding the basics of GIS, understanding projection, raster and vector layers, and the formats that
yeah.
we have in the GIS world. And he also like shared a lot of stuff on where you can meet people with like minds. Like it's always good when you're learning and you have some community to depend on to ask questions from. So like he shared some of the platforms on
Yeah.
Telegram group. There's a Telegram group for Jojango and some Slack and Discord channels where you can actually
Hmm.
go and join community just to be able to help yourself as you like grow in your career. So I guess that was like basically what we discussed in the episode 3. So if you are getting started and you want to explore WebGIS development, that would be a great episode for you to learn about that.
Yeah, just to add to that, he also discussed about some open source GIS software, PostGIS, GeoServer. I think he mentioned GeoNode as
Mm-hmm.
well, Open Layers,
Yeah, yeah,
Leaflets, a
leaflets.
whole lot, a
Yeah.
whole lot of tools.
Mm-hmm.
He is a seasoned WebGIS
Yeah.
developer, so he shared a lot um, of his experience on that
Mm-hmm.
episode. So you should definitely listen to
Yeah.
it. So after that, the next episode we released was engaging women in mapping through development projects. So that was with Lina Kitenge. So Lina started the Girls Who Map project to engage more women in mapping. Just like just like the most career paths out there. Most industries we have little participation of women. And that's something we need to change,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then I took it upon herself to
Yeah.
start the Girls Who Map project. To engage more women in mapping.
Mm-hmm.
And in
Yeah.
2020, the project welcomed women participants from 13 countries across Africa. Like
Yeah.
that's very awesome. So she shared some keywords, uh, you know, about some platforms that they use to do the map to
Mm-hmm.
volunteer. That's to map. I think they use the Air Map Creator, and she also talked about the Air Studio, and she shared some
Mm-hmm.
resources, YouTube channels to also learn how to map and to participate to join the project. So her goal is to engage more women. So in as much as we are trying to solve the world's problem, we should
Yeah.
carry everyone along, right? We should have participation from the both gender. That way we can, achieve our common goal
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
easily.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's a very very nice
I
initiative
love
having
it.
more women
Yeah.
engagement in mapping. So they are not just mapping;
Mm-hmm.
they are
Yeah.
working on development projects. Mapping, for
Yeah.
example, mapping for rapid
Mm-hmm.
response, emergency rapid response, mapping to solve flooding
Yeah.
problems, mapping to solve female genital
Yeah.
mutilation. Just like the one Janet Chapman is doing in Tanzania. So this kind of projects
Yeah.
are really interesting, engaging women in
Mm-hmm.
mapping, using
Yeah.
map to solve pressing environmental challenges. So this is also something that is very important to our world.
Tanzania. Yeah.
So that was why we brought Lena on the podcast to share with us how she's doing it, what she's doing, and why it's important. So you should definitely listen to it.
So, like for the next episode, so we decided to also do some around scholarship. You know how to secure like a funded graduate
Yeah.
program in GIS, and we brought two scholars,
Mm.
one Erasmus Mundus scholar and one Commonwealth shared scholar. So we brought Adebowale Daniel, is the Erasmus Mundus scholar, and Inena Nkata, who is also a Commonwealth shared scholar. So like they came on the
Yeah.
platform and they shared. As in, I feel like I enjoyed that that episode so much because they really like, yeah, they really shared a lot of insight on how to create like the best
Yeah.
winning portfolio for your scholarship, how to position yourself and build a strong profile
Yeah.
to win your desired scholarship. And they shared a lot of from their experiences, how it
Okay.
was like when they were also like putting in their efforts when they were like trying to apply for funding and how it was like. So if you are so and it's a scholarship
Yeah.
season actually, like I think from like October till like February, March. So if you are currently
Yeah.
like
That's true.
writing proposals or like building a profile for your scholarship right now, this will be like the best episode for you to learn, especially if you are in
Yeah.
GIS. This will be like a good way for you to learn how to create a profile that is strong for your scholarship application. Yeah. So if you want to
Yeah.
learn more about that, you can just listen to our episode 5 where we
Mhm.
spoke about securing a funded graduate program in GIS.
Yeah. This episode is also
Yeah.
interesting because it's kind of important, right? Because most of these GIS programs are expensive to fund
Mm-hmm.
yourself, right? The scholarship is like a very good route for you to study abroad or for you to
Yeah.
access some
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting one. They really shared a lot of
Yeah.
information around securing the GIS scholarship. So this is like a general scholarship
Mm-hmm.
webinar that we
Yeah.
all have out there. This is specifically focused on GIS. So they mentioned a lot of schools, a lot of
Yeah. They
scholarships
really did.
that you can access even as a GIS enthusiast, GIS professional, or if you are new to GIS.
Yeah, and I also they also like mention even if you are not looking for scholarship, how to reach out to professors via Twitter and social media
Yeah.
just to like send your proposal to them and just get funding also like from reaching out to professors on social media. So it's a very interesting episode if you want to learn.
Okay, so yeah, following that is episode 6, where we talked about the GEOSM. So GEOSM is the first open location intelligence platform in Africa. Very interesting. And the beauty about this is that it is developed by an African, that's Willie Frank. So Willie Frank developed the GEOSM platform.
Yeah,
And in the episode, he walked us through the inspiration behind the project, the technical backbone, that's the software and tools they use. So this is important for you if you're looking at building something like this going forward. He shared the technical backbone, the architecture. I think he said they used Angular, they used QGIS server, they used PostGIS, obviously. So, and he also discussed about why it was developed and who it was developed for. So it's more like an SDI for each countries in Africa. So they plan to release for the whole continent, but I think they've only been able to release for a few countries, right? And the project is heavily sponsored by OT. He also shared
yeah,
some resources
mm-hmm.
as well, like the link to the GitHub repository, the
Yeah.
platform itself,
But,
and resources to learn more about the platform, especially the
yeah,
launching of the platform that was streamed on YouTube. The link is also provided in the episode.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we moved to episode 7, where we interviewed Ernest Opokwatem from Ghana. He's also like a software developer, geospatial developer actually. And so in this episode, we really discuss around using building applications, geospatial applications, to solve challenges, especially local challenges. So Ernest in this episode spoke about how they use geospatial applications, how they use their geospatial like technical knowledge to build two platforms that are like currently solving local issues in Ghana. So like he talked to us about the mining monitoring portal that was developed by SearchGIS. The portal was developed to monitor the mining issues in Ghana. You also like shared how the project was built and the tools that they used. And also we had a YouTube live session where Ernest also shared with us, on how to get started using the platform. The platform is actually developed for people in Ghana who are, I think, for the public. So, like, if you want to learn more about how to, use the maybe portal, maybe you are writing a project, even if you are not a GIS into GIS, but maybe you are doing a project on mining or maybe illegal mining in Ghana, and you like to, have some data to maybe like add to your project to just make it look more beautiful or something. So like you can go on the platform and just check out the platform and then start using it. And so you can also go on YouTube to check the live session we had where Ernest shared about how to use the portal and how to download the data from the. So it's quite an interesting episode to learn about how we can use our geospatial knowledge to actually build applications that are solving local issues around us. So if you are interested in maybe like building applications also to also solve issues in your own country, maybe this will be a good way for you to get started to learn about how to do that, where to start from. So those were that was some of the stuff that we spoke about in this episode with Ernest Opokwata.
Yeah. I know that was actually our first YouTube live.
Yeah,
We felt the topic is kind of more visual
yeah,
because it's a platform, so we had to just switch to YouTube to for him to walk us through the platform, and it was really interesting. So it's
yeah.
also on our YouTube channel. The link will be added to the show notes. So the next episode after that was
Yes.
episode 8, and that was Stack Spatial Temporal Asset Catalog. So this topic it's getting mainstream. It's
Yeah.
new and it's solving a very important problem in the industry. And we felt, it's even I mean, we felt it to be good to interview the founder itself, the creator of the project, Stack Spatial Temporal Asset Catalog, and that was Chris Holmes himself, right? So, in as much he's not from Africa, he has once lived in Africa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was in Senegal
Yes.
for a project or something. So,
Yeah.
and even aside that, he I mean, the overall goal of our podcast is to pass information to Africans and also to showcase Africa. So in this particular episode, we are passing information that is very important to Africa. So yeah, so he enlightened us about Stack. The specification is like a common language of to describe a range of geospatial information. So it can be easily indexed and discovered, right? So you talked about the challenges that we have in the industry. When you go to different platforms to access data, you have to, learn how to access it with their custom
Yeah.
API, right? So you have to learn how to access it with their custom API, their code, and it's very, very um, stressful because in the GIS industry, if you want to work on a project, you can use like
Yeah.
five different platforms. So you have to start learning like five different APIs. You learn the one for Esri, you learn the one for NASA, you learn the one for this, the one for that. So what Stack is trying to do is that it's trying to have like common language to access any geospatial data. Understand? So if you want to build anything and you want to access data from any software, so far the platform is as a Stack endpoint, you can easily plug into
Yeah.
it, and you will need to be learning another, wasting time to learn how to access data from their platform, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's getting recognition, like it's getting adopted in several organizations now because it's solving a very important problem. In fact, the Microsoft Planetary
Yeah.
Computer uses Stack. Even
Yeah.
recently, GE Map has added Stack to its API, and so it's getting adopted in the community. So we felt it to be important to also bring this to Africa, so you can learn more about Stack. So if you have been accessing data from different APIs before, you can just um, you know unify the whole process and use Stack to access the data. So in the episode, it shared the inspiration behind the project, why it's important for us. It shared about the Stack index. You also discuss about the Google Earth engine as well, the Microsoft Planetary Computer, the Radiant
Yeah. Okay.
Earth ML Hub, which is like a even the hub as well. The Radiant ML Hub is
Mm.
uses Stack. You can access data from the Stack from the platform via Stack endpoints. Then the Radiant Earth website, GeoServer, GeoNode, cloud optimized GeoTiff, and a whole lot more as well. So if you're really interested in this part, it's more like a remote sensing segment of the industry. If you are more interested in this part, you should definitely
Yeah.
listen to the episode.
Yeah. And okay, so then we moved on to episode the next episode, episode 9, and that was about freelancing as a jazz professional. Because you understand how also important it is
Yeah,
for people who are getting started or who are already in the industry, whether they have a job or do not have a job, or they want to, earn more or just increase their earning capacity, so capability. So we decided to do an episode on freelancing, and then we brought Gibson Okeke. Gibson Okeke is one of the top freelancer on Fiverr. I think he's currently the top JSM freelancer on Fiverr. So we decided to bring him onto the podcast, and he shared a lot of insights on freelancing, how to get started. You don't have a portfolio, how to actually start to work on projects even without having a job, how to start working on project, where you can get project ideas from, how to relate with clients, how to interact with clients, how to sell yourself and your skill set. So like Gibson really, really opened the world of freelancing on this episode. Shared about the best freelancing platform out there, Fiverr, Upwork, also how to get started using open source software if you don't have money to actually buy all those other proprietary software. You can get started with using open source software. So if you are somebody that would like to explore freelancing, or you just want to get your hands dirty with projects, just what project you want to learn, where you get project ideas from, I would recommend that you listen to this episode. It's full of great insights on freelancing.
yeah. So talking about project and portfolio, so that brings us to the next episode, episode 10. So, talking about project and portfolio, sometimes you, as a GIS analyst, you don't have the web development skills to develop a portfolio website for yourself and even to, update it, right? So, Special Note is a product of a community different product where you can create a free portfolio for yourself. So, your projects, you can easily upload them on Special Note,
Mm-hmm.
and also, you can also find inspiration of Spatial Note because sometimes we don't even know what to work on.
Yeah.
So there's a discover page on Spatial Note where you can see different projects people are, building in
Mm-hmm.
the industry. So you can just go there, tap inspirations, and you can do the same for a different study area, and you can push it in your
Yeah.
portfolio easily.
So if you want to learn more about the project, you can go on the episode to listen to the episode where we spoke a lot about the project, and you will also find resources on how to get started, how to upload your portfolio, or how to upload your project on the website, and how you also get your own link that you can put on your CV or your resume on your social media platform, so that anybody who might be interested in checking out your past work, you can even like use it on your freelance. If you're freelancing or you want to get into freelancing, you can use the link on the freelancing platform, so that anybody who is interested in getting to see your work can just click on the link, and they will see all the projects you've uploaded on the site. Now to move on to the last episode that we okay, I think this one we are recording is the last episode for 2021. But the last interview we had was with Monica Intinga, who is the director for regional director for the Eastern and the Southern Africa ESA Open Mapping Hub. So the ESA Hub is a hub created to support communities and organizations in 22 countries across Africa. And in this episode, Monica shares on their plans and how they want people in those regions to get involved. They also
Yeah,
spoke about the grants that they want to give out to communities and organizations that are pushing open source projects to solve
yeah,
local challenges in those areas, using open street maps to solve challenges or yeah in their community. And so like in this episode, Monica really opens up about the hub, the problem that the hub will be solving, and how they will be helping and supporting communities. So I think that's all. That was all of the interview we had for 2021. So if you've been following along and you enjoy any of the topic we've shared, episode we've shared, and you want to listen to them, just go to africajoconvo.com to check out the episodes and you'll be able to listen to them on the episode on the website. And that will be it for the year 2021. Thank you once again for supporting the podcast. We really, really appreciate all your support. And please, we would like to hear your feedback. So please kindly help us complete the survey with the link that we are going to share. We hope to see you next year. Bye.